This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradley above at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here today. So let me go ahead and get this queued up. We have a lot to get into today. I think the evidence is just getting more clear and more clear for something that I want to present as far as a perspective on XRP and the crypto space. Let's go ahead and start with some basic news here, and then we'll just build into that notion. Okay, so first we're going to start with Swiss crypto bank Signum scores approval for digital asset trading. Things keep growing, and it's nice to see. Let's see. This was a post that came out. Shout out to Crypto Crave, who was making a post about Binance putting out a notice in Australia's Binance platform to Australia's clients. I can't talk today, about privacy coins, and they were going to be restricted from trading, and you needed to exit your positions on those. And I want to follow up with that with CZ Binance making a comment saying Bitcoin is not dead and certainly not going to zero. And I agree with him. Now, I know I've made an example out of Bitcoin and the high transaction fees and the fact that it's not currency to me. I would not want to receive Bitcoin for the purchase of something that I sell and then have the value of the Bitcoin go down the next day as it's done today, and then be less that value because I took Bitcoin in exchange for it. Even if I thought Bitcoin's going up 2 months from now or a week or a day from now, that's not a currency. However, I do feel like Bitcoin is growing into a financial investment product. And I also believe, along with CZ Binance, that it's not going to go to zero. In large part because I know that we have things like grayscale investment funds for Bitcoin, as well as other things. And I don't feel like the Barry Silberts of the world are out here investing and putting these funds together because they believe that they're going to go to zero. And in fact, or like the company that we talked about this morning, and the name of it escapes me right this second, excuse me, but the Texas company that is making money selling the electricity back to the electric company in Texas and mining crypto and hoping to have a good portion of the Bitcoin hash rate back in the United States by 2023. So ultimately, I think Bitcoin has a long future, and I think it'll be around. I could be wrong about that, but I mean, when I look at what, like I said, the larger companies are doing, where their investments are going, where the institutions are putting money, where Barry Silbert is putting money and his time and energy is into Bitcoin investment funds and things of that nature, and I don't think they would be doing that for a second if they didn't think that the longevity was there. So let's keep that moving. I want to build on to, we can get into these other topics today too. So Christine Lagarde posted today, the head of the ECB, the European Central Bank, formerly the IMF managing director, put out a tweet that they had a meeting today with commissioners about shoring up the economies for the short run and planning for future economy. And in the second part of the tweet, she puts down here, now we need faster digital transition, climate protection as a priority, completed banking union and capital markets union, backed by cutting-edge payment systems. This, to me, is a clear call to action. This is a call to action, much like the call to action that we saw from Brad Garlinghouse, and much like the call to action that we see, I believe, from Brian Brooks from the OCC with the banking charter he's going to release in the fall, and much like Tom Emmer, the senior congressman, who is calling for action to get clarity on XRP and other cryptos for a payment solution as well. So we're seeing a narrative that is spreading across the globe here. Then we have this came in here from Cryptic Poet. Thank you, Cryptic Poet. Banco del Sol and Digital Bank of Grupo Sancor Seguros. Excuse me if I've said it wrong, but Argentina's largest insurance company goes live with XRP integrated Temenos Transact to offer innovative services. I wanted to take a second and drill down on this and remind people, this is the actual article itself. And let's just start right here for a second, because this is, the evidence really starts to get really clear for me for where I want to go today with the video. So the bank has a network of 8,400 representatives throughout the country and a staff of 200 to support every corner of the country using technology to empower its customers. Banco del Sol aims to establish itself among retail customers and then move into SME space, small, medium enterprise, which makes up about 99% of Argentinian businesses and employs 70% of its workforce. Banco del Sol needed a technology partner to offer enhanced digital experience, which has since positioned them to be the best support in both customer and businesses, a key strategy in the wake of the pandemic. So, with that being said, I thought it would be nice to pull up an article from 4 years ago that just really shows you Temenos and Ripple in bed together. Ripple has always been an initiative to bridge the gap between blockchain technology and traditional banking. Now that this protocol has been showcased as an integration into Temenos T24, the future is looking bright for Ripple and its partners. Now, again, we talk about here the market infrastructure, the plumbing, the things that are being put in place, Ripple playing the long game. This was from 4 years ago. This article is from today. This, to me, shows you the real path of a real company doing very real things that can help implement the asset XRP and help elevate it to its success. Okay, then I wanted to go a little further, and I found this old video here from 2018 from Bank XRP, and this is just a little quick clip here, and this is actually a presentation that is being put on by Temenos, and it's a Ripple demo, but it's Deloitte and people from Temenos, a guy from Deloitte and Temenos talking here, and I'm just going to let about a minute or so of this play. Let me get it queued up back to where it was, but I just want to show you Deloitte Digital showcasing the integration of Temenos and Ripple. And it has the two gentlemen here, and let me get back to the time marker that we're at. Right here is good enough. And listen to this.
Hong Kong wire still to show up. So we're going to focus on what the blockchain can deliver. So what we have here is a bank at one end connecting to the T24. Then the Blue-Zelle technology is tapping into the T24, which will talk to the Ripple network, which is a Ripple protocol blockchain, and send money overseas.
There you go. I think that about sums it up right there, right? There's your path. There it is right there with Ripple and smack dab in the middle of it. And now, when we go back to the article that came out today, we understand we're talking about Argentina. Now, the point I wanted to make here is that you see the connections that are happening that they're showing you just in this particular region. Temenos is worldwide. Ripple is worldwide. And that, to me, is a very important point to make, because we know that Deloitte was a part of this presentation, too, when we first opened up the video and showed you this. I have been showing you this PDF from Deloitte over the past couple days from back in the 2015 timeframe, where they discussed the strongest possible driver for global adoption of a global reserve currency would be global institutions that can force their will on most cross-border trade, mandating its use. The same company that wrote that statement is on stage with Temenos and working to show you the integration of Ripple around the world. And now today has an article showing you just in the Argentina region what's going on. To me, this is clear evidence of what is happening around the world with all the different payment providers, financial institutions, SMEs, and banks alike. I think we're reaching a tipping point. And to add to that and bring clarity to that, we know that I covered this morning as well. Brian Brooks, the Office of Comptroller of Currency, said he's forging ahead with a long-in-the-works plan to offer national banking charters to payment firms that don't take deposits. Now, this includes a Coinbase, as well as it includes Square or Venmo or PayPal or companies of that nature. So coming back to this, we see Senate Banking Chairman ask the OC about its planned crypto rulemaking. Senator Mike Crapo, I guess it's Crapo or Crapo, but I think it's Crapo, from Idaho, who heads the powerful Senate Banking Committee, has asked the Office of Comptroller of the Currency to fill his committee in on its advance notice of proposed rulemaking for cryptocurrency services. They want to know ahead of time, Mr. Brooks, what are you going to be bringing to the table? Listen to these bullet points here. The OCC, federal banking regulator, asked the general public to weigh in on how cryptocurrencies were used or treated in financial sector this past June. Around 90 banks, crypto startups, academics, and industry organizations provided responses, with some major banks in particular suggesting they would be open to providing cryptocurrency services with some clearer regulation. Crapo's letter dated September 1st asked the OCC to provide the committee with an update on its findings and in the next steps the OCC intends to take with its technology. The U.S. needs to create clear rules around cryptocurrency services without stifling innovation, the letter said. Now, that's important to me because it tells me that the congressman gets it. The head of the banking committee gets it. Right? I mean, how important is this that the head of the Senate banking chairman is getting what needs to happen here to bring on the ability to incorporate cryptocurrency services without stifling innovation? You know, a couple of years ago, they didn't want to have this conversation. They didn't even want to talk about this. It was not even something that was going to take place. With the crypto space offering products and services as diverse as elsewhere in finance, Crapo wrote, these and similar innovations are inevitable, beneficial, and the U.S. should lead in their development. This, to me, is Brian Brooks getting the wind behind his sails and the Senate banking chairman absolutely finding himself in alignment, at least in the general sense, in alignment with Brian Brooks and the OCC for what's about to come out. The Senate Banking Committee has held a number of hearings around crypto space, as well as Crapo's letter points out, including on the Facebook-led Libra project, which, well, to be determined, right? However, that's where we're at with that. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you, too, is this is the all-time chart right now, XRP at 27 cents. But this is the all-time chart. And, you know, the title of this video really comes down to the evidence is getting clear. It's becoming more clear to me that this is not a slow and steady like a stock market. This is obviously XRP is not a security. It has not paced the success of Ripple, the blockchain fintech infrastructure company. And that's a good thing because it's a digital asset. And it's not supposed to. And when I look at this chart, what I'm reminded of is exactly that, and the idea that when we get this clarity that they're asking for, now the Senate banking chairman, as well as Brian Brooks looking to bring more clarity to the entire federal banking system, you know, what I see here is the potential to get the classification at some point, not too long from now, on XRP, on exactly what it is. And I want you for a second to ask yourself, what does the success of XRP look like to you when we finally have a clear designation of what the asset is, which I believe is a currency? What does that look like, the implementation and the practical use case of XRP look like when that is no longer in question? What does it look like to you when we reach a moment where we have true price discovery on the digital asset XRP? The real price feeds from every exchange, from every payment situation, every liquidity pool, every provider, everywhere around the world fed into the NASDAQ liquid index and have real true price discovery on this digital asset, which we do not have yet. To me, that's why when I look at this chart, I don't get upset because what I see isn't slow and steady. What I see is a big jump in price when these things fall into place. You give us the clarity, You give us the regulation clarity, and you give us the price discovery, and this asset takes care of itself, and it does it in a big way. Because when I look back at the earlier news and I see the infrastructure that's put in place and the path that's used for Ripple to help bring this world into a new digital age, whether we're talking about Argentina or just the planet in general, we're talking about a chart that looks like that 2020 bull run is what it looks like. Only it's going to be a mountainside. It's going to just crawl up like a mountainside. Will there be some retracements? Sure, I'm sure there are. There's, every market takes a breath, right? But the reality is, I think we see something that moves very, very quickly and finds a new level. And I don't think the new level will be 20-some cents. And I don't even think it'll be the all-time high. I think it'll be something way beyond that. But anyway, that's going to do it for me today, guys. I just wanted to share that point of view. I think the evidence is getting more clear that we're getting right down to the heart of the matter. We need to get the classification and the designation of XRP. And this thing is going to be used by so many entities around the world. It's going to make our head spin. All right, guys, hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Make sure you share with somebody you know. I'll catch all of you on the next one.